My name's Will Collier, and my business is Deadbird Barbecue. At DB180 is my brand of seasonings and soon-to-be sauces. Whenever I got back from deployment in Afghanistan, one of my buddies that was in the Army with me, he was doing professional barbecue competitions. I had never cooked them before, but I enjoyed cooking before I left, but I'd never smoked a piece of meat or done anything like that. He invited me to come out, so I went out there, hung out with him, and saw how crazy it was. It was just real hectic. You always had something to do. So for me, and my PTSD and my mind was going nonstop, for me to have something to occupy my mind and give me something to do, it just kind of clicked with me. So I started doing that, and then whenever I started creating my rubs, it was because my son actually had been diagnosed with MSG and gluten intolerance. So it never bothered me. It doesn't affect me, and it doesn't affect most people. But for him, it gave him major digestion issues and just like put him basically crutched over, stomach pain. So I started looking at labels, and all the products I was using had MSG in them. Like all the products that were really like popular on the competition circuit all had MSG in them. So I decided I'm just going to try and create one by myself in the kitchen. I bet I could create one that is just as good as any of these others, and I just won't put MSG in it, and I'll make sure it's gluten free. So I did, started cooking at the house because then he could eat it, and the first rub that I made, it was just really good. So we took that, and I went to a competition with it, and a 180 is a perfect score in barbecue. So it's like getting a 300 in bowling. Whenever I took that rub that I made in my kitchen to my first professional barbecue competition with it, I got 3 perfect scores in my first 5 times out, which is unheard of. And I wasn't that great of a barbecue cook. So I was winning, and all these people that have been doing it for a long time are like, who's this guy? What is he doing? So I started getting requests for it. One of the guys came up to me, he'd been doing it for 8 or 9 years, and he had never finished in the top 10 at anything. Asked me if I'd make him a batch because he was going to an invitational Kansas City. I made him a handmade batch, took it up, he got first place. So at that point, I said, you got to bottle this. So I just started looking into bottling it, and once I found a co-packer that could match my recipe and I bottled it, that's kind of where it took it off from there. And I switched over to the state competition circuit in 2020 because COVID shut barbecue down, created 2 steak rubs. I just got really lucky, and some of the top cooks in the nation chose to use them and started shouting them out on worldwide stages, and then it just started expanding from there. So now it's just something that I'm real passionate about. I travel across the country and cook. I cooked 87 competitions this year. I've cooked in every other region just to meet the people that use the products and then to promote them and just spread the word. So it's all grown organically, and that's where it's at now and where I hope to keep taking it higher and higher. So.